Hello, everybody, and welcome in. We are getting started on time today. Please, if you're joining us when you catch this video playing as you're scrolling by, or intentionally, that we are coming on live because I invited like 500 people in the group and hoping that we get a good turnout. This is going to be live streaming in a bunch of places. My Facebook, the Facebook group, wholesaling real estate, and then also on my YouTube. So you can pick us up in a bunch of different places. And I'll just welcome Chris in just a second. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for everybody to show up, if you could possibly just drop your name, let us know your actual name because a streamer doesn't always let us see your name. We'd love to interact with you, but drop your name and where you're marketing or what's your journey all about with wholesaling. You're just getting started. Have you been at it a while and you're kind of hitting some roadblocks and you're looking for some expert guidance? Well, we're not going to disappoint you at all today. First of all, my name is Tracy ekurny. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the founder of the real estate group that most of you are probably in, since this is going to be live streaming. For those of you who are just hitting us for the first time, it's Wholesaling Real Estate. I'll drop the link in the chat if you want to join us. It's a free group. And Chris Logan, our expert virtual wholesaler and coach, is also in the group. So he's always engaging in there, posting stuff, adding a ton of value, answering all your questions, and it's pretty amazing. So I'm really fortunate to have Chris. He's not in everybody's group, so you get some extra special attention with somebody who's really knocking it out of the park. Hey, Peg, welcome in. It's so good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for saying hello to us. It's been a couple of weeks, but our weeks have flown by and we're already mid-May. I cannot even believe the time is flying into summer. But here we are, Wednesdays, weekly, teaching virtual wholesaling made simple by no other than Chris Logan. He is a multi-seven-figure virtual wholesaler and coach. He lives in Florida with his beautiful wife and new baby boy. Is so adorable. I catch some cute pictures of him on there on Facebook, and I just think he's so sweet. You're so blessed, and we're so blessed to have you here today. I don't want to waste an ounce of time bringing Chris on and sharing a little more about himself. But in addition, we're going to be doing some live cold calls today. And a lot of people are freaked out a little bit about this, Chris. People are a little apprehensive, a little nervous to pick up the phone. Wondering what's going to happen on the other end of that line. Is everything going to break loose? Are they going to remember me? No, we're here to make this as low stress and actionable as possible, keeping things as simple as we can. So, Chris, I'm going to hand this off to you, and then we can do a screen share, and your audio will be recording, and we'll do a bunch of cold calls to demonstrate what to say, what to do when you're on an actual call to a seller, hopefully a motivated seller. Chris has done some screening and he has a list ready to go. If you know somebody who's out there wholesaling and they're stuck hitting the wall, please invite them in. Share the link to this live. I'm sure they're going to benefit from it. Yes, it will be recorded in the group. So let's go. Let's get started.
Awesome. Love it. Hey, Tracy, thank you for that introduction. That's amazing. I'm really looking forward to just sharing some value with the group here today and knocking out some cold calls. One of the main reasons I wanted to do this today is I find that cold calls is something that a lot of people, when they're first coming into real estate, they're freaking out about, right? They're like, oh, I don't know if I can cold call. Is it, are people going to curse me out? Is it, is it hard? Like, what are people going to say when I pick up the phone and call them? Are they going to yell at me, right? All these things, they have these limiting beliefs about these big obstacles that are in front of them when they're about to pick up the phone. But the reality is, it's very simple. We're just picking up the phone. We're having conversations. So if you focus on having conversations and having enough conversations, then you will get deals, right? I have a saying, contacts lead to contracts. So the more people you contact, the more deals that you're going to contract, right? And so a lot of people too, something that gives them a lot of peace when they're about to cold call is knowing what to expect, knowing how the process goes, what typically happens on a call, and seeing the types of leads we get, right? So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a live cold calling. I'm going to share the dialer that we're using so you guys can see that. And then also I have a discount for people who want to get started with the dialer that we have. So the dialer that we use is a batch dialer. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that here into the comments or in the chat, and connect my YouTube here and continue, allow, and I think we're good. Boom. Okay, cool. So here is the dialer that we use. I'll just post that in the comments there. Comment failed to post. Interesting. Okay. Well, let me send this to Tracy, and then she can put it up on the screen. There we go. So if you do that, that'll be the dialer that we're using. And if you use that, you can get a discount on the dialer. So let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So share screen, and then let me go ahead and pick the 1 minute. Let's see. Where is it? 1 second. Why isn't it let me share? Give me 1 minute. So share screen, and then, perfect. There we go. Good to go. Make sure you guys can see that now. Perfect. Okay, great. So this is Batch Dialer, the dialer that we use. Janine, what's happening from South Florida, Fort Lauderdale? Love it, love it. You know, you're in for a treat today because cold calling is one of the best, if not the best ways to reach out to sellers and get leads and deals. And we're going to show you how we do that here today. So this is a batch dialer right here, as you guys can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click this little phone right here, and I'm going to join one of the campaigns that I have, right? So this is the campaign, and we're off to the races. We're dialing. So what's going to happen is the dialer's dialing a bunch of people all at the same time. And then once it connects with someone, it's going to beep, connect, and then I'm going to follow a script that I have. Yeah, hey, I hope I have the right
Leave your message for.
Yep. Okay, we've got an answer machine there. So I'm going to mark that one as answer machine. We're going to move on. But as you guys can see, the contact pops up over here. The script pops up to the right. Pretty awesome. So everything is ready to go. You can check out the property details, how much they owe on the mortgage. Just a lot of really cool stuff shows up here. Shows the phone numbers, mailing addresses, where I'm getting the leads, all that. And you can even have a link that pops up with the Zestimate over here. So you can check that out. Very helpful when you're making cold calls. And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and post those questions. I'll answer them as we're going through here. But once the next lead connects, it's going to connect with the next person, and then their info will come up on the screen. But as you can see, I got a script over here to the right where I have where to go.
But the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been sent.
Okay, so this was answer machine 2, so I'm going to log it. These are the different call results we have here, guys. I mark them interested if it's an interested lead and so on. In this case, it was an answer machine, so I'm going to mark it as done. We're going to move on.
Please leave your message for now.
Okay. One of the most important things, guys, when you're making cold calls is to keep the calls going, right? So a lot of people, they may receive several, answer machines in a row, and then they get frustrated and they pause, they get up, they stretch, they walk away. But you just got to move on to the next call as soon as possible so you can get the most out of your dialing sessions. And can you guys hear everything okay? Like, can you hear the dialer comes on and it connects?
Yes. And for those that are in the group, FYI, the live stream is not running properly through StreamYard to the group. I'm trying to fix that right now, but if not, I will keep the recording and post it in the group. So either way, it'll get there.
Boom. So one of the cool things, okay, I guess that one disconnected, but one of the cool things it has here, guys, I have the advanced plan with Batch Dialer, and it has something called rapid fire mode. Now, typically when a dialer is dialing and 3 phone numbers are being called at once, it calls the first number, and then if that doesn't pick up, it calls the second number, that one calls the third number, and so on.
Auto pause activated.
But with rapid fire mode, whenever if the dialer's calling the first number and no one picks up, it automatically calls another number. So we're always calling 3 numbers at the exact same time. You can really power through a list pretty quickly with this. Okay, it's on auto pause. Let me change it to available. There we go. I think it hears me talking and it thinks that, like, hello? Hello? Hey, is this Mark? Okay, so that was like dead air. So we're just going to say, no contact there. We will connect with someone here. Let's see if there's any questions so far. Okay, no questions so far. Awesome. Keep it rocking. And one of the other things that's kind of nice. Hello? Hello? Okay, that was a hang up. So one of the other things that's kind of nice here, guys, is that you can actually score property records that you upload. So you can actually property records that you upload. So for instance, if you feel one list that you're uploading is more motivated than another list and you want to make sure the dialer calls those records first, you can assign like a score to those records, and it'll focus only on those first, and then it'll make sure those activated first. So that's pretty cool. Let me go through.
Message. When you have finished.
This is just par for the course, guys. Sometimes when you're cold calling, you'll get a lot of voicemails, especially around the time 12 to 1. People are. Okay, I guess I'm on hold there or something. People are just coming off of lunch, and so we find we start really reaching a lot of people like between 1:30 and 7:30. But
Sorry, the mailbox is full and there is not enough space.
okay, answer machine. And what happens is when we mark something as answer machine, it keeps them in the list. It doesn't take them out, so it keeps them in the list. And the next time we dial through the list, basically, we'll try calling those people again. And there's a lot of different dialers that people start out with. Some people start out with Batch. Some people start with Mojo. Yeah, hello? Hello? Hey, is this Jesse? Hello? Okay, got some dead air there. So what I like about Batch, though, is Batch gives you the ability to get calls. So Mojo, yeah, hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Rachel? Hello? Okay, so we're going to boo, just say no answer. But Batch allows you to get calls back, which is amazing. So if someone misses my call,
Has a voicemail box that is.
if someone misses my call, and then let's say, for instance, like they missed my call and they try to call me back, with Mojo, it would send them to a voicemail, but with Batch, I can actually get that incoming call. So I'll show you how that goes once we get an incoming call.
This is Jamie. Leave a message and I'll get back.
Okay. Yeah, we're moving and grooving. Powering through these voicemails. This is another reason, guys, when you're
Joan, I can't come to the phone right now, but if you leave your name and number, I'll get.
This is another reason that you want to use a dialer when you're cold calling. You don't want to just manually one-off dial, because you guys can see how many voicemails I'm reaching. And so in dialing by one, it would just take way too long to do that. So that's why I always recommend a dialer. And what I typically do is I hear like this beep, and then I usually wait like one Mississippi to see if they're going to say hello, and then I'll usually go right into the script, or I'll say hello, one of the two. But we do that because by waiting that one Mississippi, it prevents you from talking over the person and making this really awkward start to the call. So that's the reason I do that. Hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Tracy? Hello? Sometimes we get dead air. I'm still trying to figure out why that happens from time to time, but maybe it's you reach a phone number that the dialer thinks is active, it connects with them, but there's really nobody there. If I heard breathing, that'd be a little creepy, but
904-553-9866. I'm not.
I haven't heard that yet, so. One of the most important things, guys, to make sure is when you are going to be cold calling is that you're skip tracing with a source that's going to provide you with accurate phone numbers. So we use batch skip tracing, and that's a really big thing, because if you're calling on a bunch of numbers that are the wrong numbers, then it's just going to make your dialing time really. Hi, hello. Hello? That's interesting. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to mark him as hang up, and the dial. I'm going to call him back again. Where were we? We were talking about, can't remember. So we'll come back to that. But do you guys see how easy this is? I'm basically just sitting on the dialer right here. It's going, and I'm just waiting to connect with people. That's it. And when I connect with them, I go through a script, have a conversation. Hopefully we'll be able to get some of those in, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I love it. This is the way it works. This is the live way in which people might have in their minds. Maybe there's some questions you might have. If you want to throw some questions at us while we're going through the process, drop them in the comments. I did get the live video to run in the group, so that's fixed. And
nice.
So hopefully we'll be in 3 different places at once. And also, you are targeting mainly Florida in your target market, so this is part of your personal list. I love that.
Yep. So this is Duval County in Jacksonville. So these are the.
Hello. We are not available now. To answer right now. Please call again.
That's a little strange. Had dual answer machines. This is Duval County in Jacksonville. So, or Jacksonville's in Duval County, but this is one of the territories targeting because we love properties in this area. So, but you know, a lot of people have a fear of cold calling. Like, you know, what are they going to say? You know, what if I mess up? It doesn't matter. Hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Tyrone?
Yeah, reach the number for Mr. Ward. I'm unavailable at the.
So the cool thing is that was his right number. He just wasn't available. But a lot of people worry about, you know, what if I mess up? It doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter if you mess up. It doesn't matter if you fumble the call. You're never going to run into these people at the grocery store or anything like that. So you just got to keep on moving on to the next call.
Phone right now. You leave your name, number, and
Okay. Yeah, hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Wooten?
Say that again?
Yeah, hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Wooten?
Yes.
Great. Hey, my name's Chris. I was actually calling about a property I believe that you own off of 6031 Terry Parker Drive in Jacksonville.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, so I'm a local home buyer and recently bought a few properties in the area and wanted to consider a cash offer on your property there.
No, that's my home. That's where I'm living.
Oh, you haven't thought about selling?
No.
Okay. Let me ask you, do you have any other properties you'd want to sell? Maybe something that needs to be remodeled?
Not for right now. I'm pretty well much doing my remodeling what I have on rental properties myself.
Oh, sure. So you own some other rental properties?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. You don't have any that you'd want to sell?
No, not at the time.
Okay. Is there anybody on your street that you may want them to sell? Maybe there's like boards on the windows. Maybe there's grass that's overgrown, a fence that's creeping over on your lot line, anything like that?
No, everything is already bought where I live, and people moving in and whatever ain't bought, investors already own it. They don't fix it up and they got locks on them.
Got it. Okay. Well, hey, if anything ever changes and you want to sell your property, go ahead and save my number. This is my number. Save it in your phone as Chris Homebuyer. And if you want to sell one of those rental properties, I'd love to have a conversation with you about that. We're looking to grow our portfolio and always looking for good opportunities.
Not a problem. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Have a great rest of your day.
Too. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye. All right. So he wasn't interested in selling his property, but we did reach the right person, which is great. And as you guys can see, just because he wasn't interested in selling, I wanted to see if he had any other properties he wanted to sell, if anyone on his street wanted to sell, right? We pay people for referrals, so it's always good to try and make the most out of every call. I like to tell people you want to treat every single call as it's the last call that you're ever going, as it's the last seller that you're ever going to reach that day, right? So a lot of people will treat these calls really carelessly. They'll be like, oh, okay.
Please leave your message for 9.
And they won't try and get the most out of every call by asking for other opportunity, right? Because they're assuming, oh, I'll reach several other people today. That is the only person you reach today, right?
904.
So you want to make sure that you milk all opportunity that you can out of every single phone call that you, out of every single phone call and seller that you reach. Yeah, hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Joanne? Hello? Okay, it's like dead air. So let's go ahead and do our answer. Okay. Did you guys see how simple this is? Basically, I'm just, like I said, I'm just here to be connected with a call.
Hi, this is Charles Grage with ELB Consulting.
Okay. I'm just waiting on here for a call. Someone connects and I have a conversation. It's pretty simple.
And its companion companies. If you are a beneficiary, please have your card number.
Okay, so I'm going to call this one. This is probably your wrong number. Okay. And whenever something is marked wrong number, it adds it to my internal do not call list. And so at that point, the dialer will never call that number again. Yeah, hey, I hope it's the right phone number. Is this Judy? Hello? Okay, keeping it moving. So no answer there. Yeah, drop whatever questions that you guys have. I mean, what are some of your biggest obstacles when you're cold calling sellers? And if you've never cold called sellers before, like what's your biggest fear?
Forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to.
Okay. Go ahead and drop that in the comments. And I'd love to answer those questions as we go along. You can see we have a little downtime in between calls.
Please leave your message for.
Okay. So as you guys can see.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I love how this showcases how doable this is, because I think people look at these large lists, a volume of people that they have to go. They get overwhelmed. They attribute that large list to.
Hey, is this Laszlo? Oh, got connected on the call there. Go ahead.
No, I think a lot of times people assume there's this large list. When am I ever going to get the time to do it? But what we're showing here is how quickly you're motoring through, and in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
You're getting.
Hey, is this Jordan? Hello? Yeah, no, absolutely. You can really go through a list pretty quickly with this. The most important thing is sitting down, staying really focused. You want to make sure you don't have focus on anything else. You're not. Hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Barbara? Okay, no answer there. But yeah, you're just sitting here, you're making calls, you're moving through these things pretty quickly and moving on to the next opportunity. So as you guys can see, I have around like 20,000 people on this list. That's what that means. So there's a lot of people that are on this list that I'm reaching out to, but this is a pretty solid list here that I'm calling on. Let's go. Anybody have
reached the office of David Shilby? I'm sorry, I'm.
Okay, so that was his. Somebody answer machine. Anybody have any questions when it comes to cold calling, obstacles that you face, maybe objections you didn't know how to overcome?
Yeah, feel free to light up the chat with some hellos and your questions as we go along so that we can answer them at the end. In my opinion, Chris, this is like the most important session that you could attend.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because you hear a lot of people about what you should do and how you should get sellers, but hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Larry?
I'm sorry, who is this?
Oh, hey, I was trying to reach Larry. Is this Larry's number?
No, this is Grace's number.
Grace, okay. You wouldn't be the owner of 10235 Trevor Creek Drive in Jacksonville, would you?
Yeah.
Oh, you would?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's what I was trying to call.
But I'm interested in selling. I already sold 5 houses. I'm done.
Nice. So I'm a local home buyer and recently bought a few properties in the area. I wanted to see if you'd consider an offer on this property or another property you have.
No, I had 6 properties. I sold 5.
Good for you.
We're out of that business, and now we're retired. We're just living in our house that we built. That we were the first people in it. So we're not planning. We plan to die there, but not anytime soon.
Oh, that's amazing. And let me ask you: are there any other properties on your street that you think that the owners may want to sell, or maybe you want them to sell? Maybe the property's not in the best shape, or
there were 2, but they sold already.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, it was great talking to you, and best of luck with retirement. Enjoy that. You've earned it. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. Okay. So if I had caught her at the right time, that would have been a good opportunity. She said she had 5 or 6 properties, no longer has it anymore. And so not much we could do there. We asked for other opportunity if there's any houses on their street, and she said no. So moving on to the next one. Yeah, so there's a lot of people that tell you what to do, but not many people show you how to do it. And that's what I want to do here, guys. I want to break through those mental barriers that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, I was hoping I could...
Please record your message.
Okay, answer machine. Boom. Let's see. So Beulah says the triple dialer mojo needs 2 messages to be recorded. One is the usual voicemail message and the other for the callback message. What would you record for the callback message? See, that's the thing. With that, you don't have to do that because you can get incoming calls. And this, as far as a callback message, I don't record anything like that. Again, because I can take inbound calls with Batch, but at the same time, I'd rather it just drop and then thinking, maybe we got disconnected or something like that.
To an automatic voice message system.
And then the dialer cycles back in and calls them back. So the batch comes out a little bit ahead.
Peg's asking, does the dialer keep dialing? Even if you're on a call, like she's hearing you do in the background, it just keeps going.
The person you called has a voicemail.
So the dialer does not continue to dial if I'm on a call. So if once I'm on a call, the dialer stops dialing. But I don't know if you guys could see this in the background, but when I'm in the process of selecting a call result, so what happened on a call, the dialer starts dialing again in the background. So there's a setting I can put here so where it stops dialing during that time. Hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Anthony? Hello? Okay. So the dialer will keep dialing like right now, like you guys can see it back here, it's dialing. So that's why I select the call result and continue to move on pretty quickly there. But hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Kimberly? Hello? Hey, is this Kimberly? Okay, no answer. But that's the reason why, that's the reason why I like Batch, because again, I can receive those inbound calls. Hey, I hope I have the right phone number. I was looking to reach Edward. Hello? Okay. But that's the reason I like batch, is I can get those inbound calls when they come in. Mojo, they'd all go to voicemail, and you miss a lot of opportunity when calls go to voicemail. So much opportunity. We found that we lost about 25% of our leads when we were letting calls go to voicemail. And also when you're cold calling, guys,
The person you've reached.
you should never leave voicemails because that takes too much time. A lot of people leave voicemails in between. Even if you can click a button, have it drop a voicemail, don't do that.
System 90.
Just keep it moving. Yep, you got it. You got it. Come on, I want to get some good conversations in here today.
It will happen.
It will. We're going to put it out there.
They're trying to show, does Chris Logan get discouraged? No, he does not.
Nope.
Oh,
I just keep going.
and for some reason, Facebook just banned me in my own group from commenting on this live because I went.
Leave your message for 90.
Go ahead, Tracy.
I went against community standards because I commented more than once within the last few minutes, so it recognized me as spam. So
that is so funny.
3 questions. I might not be able to answer you right away, but please do keep the chat lively. We bring a lot of energy to the table, and we thrive off of yours. So we would love to hear from you. I know there's probably about 25 people right now total listening in, Chris, that I know of anyway, across the board. So
love that. Yeah, guys, it's so important. Hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Samuel? It's so important, guys, to keep a positive mental attitude when you're dialing, and something that you also want to do too, like Peg comments on it. Should I like your speech
first in print?
I'm sure she was talking to Tracy, but but one of the things I share with my coaching clients is when you have a smile, you have permission to dial, right? Because if you smile, people can hear it through the phone. You sound like an exciting person to talk to. No one wants to talk to a stick in the mud, right? So you don't want to be like, hey, I'll put the right phone number. Is this so-and-so? They're going to hang up on you, right? You have to sound like someone that they want to talk to. Yeah, hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Jeff?
Yeah, who's calling?
Hey, Jeff. Hey, my name's Chris, and I was actually calling about a property I believe you own at 6610 Terry Road in Jacksonville. Okay, he hung up on me, so we're going to do hang up. That happens. You just got to keep it going. But yeah, so again, people can hear that through the phone, and if you sound like a boring person, they're not going to want to talk to you. So you have 7 seconds to capture someone's attention, and in that time, you tell them who you are, why you're calling, and how you can help them. And then if you hit those 3 things, then you'll have more conversations with sellers.
is this a tired landlord list, Chris?
This one here is actually a special list. This is a list called the credit default list. So this is a list of people who have high revolving credit balances. Maybe they have shown signs of being financially in trouble, and not many people know about this list, but it's showing here, so I'll answer your questions about it. If you, yeah, and you can actually get this list if you reach out to, shoot, I think it's, I'll tell you what, if anyone wants this list, just reach out to me and let me know, because I actually have a contact that can pull this list and get it for you, but it's one of the best lists that we have. It's amazing. The majority of our deals come from this list, and I love this list.
Boom. I love it.
Yep. So
to show up.
Go ahead.
It pays to show up here.
Oh, heck yeah, it does. Yeah, because this list is 50 cents per 1,000 records that you get. And I usually recommend my coaching clients to get around 10,000 records to start. And this can produce phenomenal deals. So, but it's through a special provider, and I got to connect with him through email. So I'll connect you, and then he'll get you the discount. So you're referred by me.
What's the cost for batch leads a month? I'm getting a question.
Mm-hmm. So batch dialer. So batch dialer is $139 a month for the base plan, or $297 a month, I believe, for the advanced plan. The advanced plan is the one that I have, and then they include they actually include 60 phone numbers with that plan, which is amazing. Because if you have the base plan, the $139, I believe it's $4 a month per phone number, and that's it. There are some dialers out there that actually charge activation fees and all that for phone numbers, and Batch does not do that. So,
Hello?
yeah, hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Shirley?
Yeah, I'm Shirley.
Yeah, hey, Shirley. My name's Chris. I was actually calling about a property I believe you own off of 4148 Stillwood Drive in Jacksonville.
Yeah, but I don't want to sell. Thank you.
Okay, let me ask you. So you can't do anything if they hang up on you, but she said she was not interested, so we'll just put that right there. Yeah, so again, both plans, they work. Hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Julie? Both plans work, but one has a different, give me 1 second here. Hang up, boom. Okay, so both plans are great. The advanced plan has phone reputation monitoring too, so it'll
Please leave your message for
always let you know if your phone number's been flagged for spam, and if it has, then it will automatically replace that for you. So that's kind of an advantage of that plan. But either plan you go with doesn't matter. Just we start dialing.
to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available.
Okay, voicemail.
And you wanted to make a clarification. I know you did on a post earlier in the group about voicemail. You don't leave it unless they express interest. So not to waste time leaving voicemails on every call, because it's not worth it.
Exactly. Yeah, hey, I hope I have the right phone number. I was trying to reach the owner of the property at 5345 Side Saddle Drive in Jacksonville.
No, you got the wrong number, sir.
Okay, you wouldn't have a property that you're looking to sell, would you?
No, I don't.
Okay, so nothing that's like a fixer-upper, needs a little work?
No, I don't, sir. I have to work now. Sorry, sir.
Okay, do you have any family that has a property? The call's over when I say it's over, right? So she's, this was the wrong number, so I'm gonna mark that as that. So again, I treat every call like it's gonna be the last call that I'll ever reach for that day, right? And so on that call, I'm asking not only if they want to sell their property, but also if they have any other properties they want to sell, or if they know anyone that wants to sell. And there are certain dialers too that charge for inbound calls, like per minute. Hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Scott? Hello? But Batch actually doesn't do that, so they don't charge for that. And something else I didn't really like about Mojo too is Mojo. When you go back and listen to the call recordings, they sound like watery, wavy, just very quality, and these are like crystal. Hello? Hello? This is funny. Tracy. So very poor quality, but you go back and call recordings from this, and they're actually very, very high quality. So I really like that. And then the other difference between this and Mojo too is this is what's called a hosted VoIP dialer, meaning you don't need to call into your cell phone. So with Mojo, they make you call into your cell phone, and then you're making calls from your cell phone. I don't like doing that.
She does.
Hey, this is Kieran? Hello? Yeah, hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Kieran? I think that was voicemail or something. He said something and just didn't say anything after that. But yeah, this is a hosted dialer, so that way I don't have to call into my cell phone like that, because that can be a really big problem if you're in an area where maybe the reception isn't the best. And that's why the call quality is not really the best with Mojo too.
Please leave your message for.
Okay, answer machine, done. So over time, what you guys are going to do, so when you're first starting out, you're cold calling yourself, right? When I first started cold calling, I was cold calling myself, and I did it from the first 3 to 6 months. And then after I got some deals out of it, at that point, what I did is I handed this off to someone else on my team. So I hired someone to make calls for me, and now they bring leads to me on my team. So that way we no longer have to cold call ourselves. I just do this to show you guys what's possible and how easy it is to make cold calls. But eventually what you want to do is you want to have someone do this for you. And I typically recommend after you get your first deal, you want to go ahead and do it. I waited way too long to hand this off. And
Really?
hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Robert?
Hello? Yes.
Oh, hey, Robert. My name's Chris. I was actually calling about a property I believe you own at 371 Misty Hollow Drive in Jacksonville.
Not interested, sir.
Let me ask you, do you have any other properties you want to sell? Maybe something that needs to be remodeled?
I have nothing that I want to sell to you, sir.
Got it. Okay. So do you have any other neighbors on your street that maybe? So, forget what I was saying there, but yeah.
Is the script on the right that we're seeing preloaded and you're throwing in some criteria for the area, or are you editing all of that yourself? Is that just a bit of a guide? What can you tell us more about the script?
Yeah, hey, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this Norma?
Hello?
Yeah, hey, is this Norma?
Who is this?
Yeah, hey, my name's Chris. I was actually calling about a property I believe you own at 3285 Hidden Lake Drive in Jacksonville.
What about it?
Yeah, well, I'm a local home buyer in the area and recently bought a few properties and wanted to know if you'd consider an offer on your property there.
Well, depending on the offer.
Got it. Okay. So our process is really simple. I just need to ask you some basic questions about your property, and that way I can go ahead and evaluate here and just see what I can offer you. Process takes only about 5 to 10 minutes. Does that sound good?
Where was that again?
Yeah, so no, I was saying that our process is very simple. I just want to ask you some basic questions about your property, and that way I can go ahead and value it here and see what I can offer you. It only takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Sound good?
I'll listen.
Okay, great. Yeah, so can you tell me a little bit about the property? You know, the condition of the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, and things like that?
4 bedrooms and 2 baths.
Okay, so it's a 4-bedroom, 2 bath.
I have an atrium in the middle of my house.
Okay.
With trees and everything, and and that's pretty much it. Family room.
Got it. Okay. So it's 4 bedrooms, 2 bath. And then from there, what about the air conditioning? When was the last time that you replaced the air conditioning?
Oh, it works fine.
Okay. Do you know the last time that it was replaced?
I think my husband just had something done a couple of months ago.
Okay. So you had maintenance on it a few months ago?
Yeah, it works fine.
Okay. Great. And what about the roof of the property? Do you know how the roof is?
Oh, it doesn't leak, if that's what you mean.
Well, that's a good thing. Do you know when it was last replaced?
No.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you, what about the electrical or plumbing? Any issues there?
Everything's working fine.
Okay, great. Awesome. Okay. And what about the kitchen or bathrooms? Have you modeled those in the last 5 years?
No, but they're fine.
Okay. How are the cabinets? Are the cabinets in good condition? Or would you say they're
everything is in good condition?
Okay. All right. So, this sounds like a great house. I know that area pretty well. What's got you wanting to sell?
What? What did you say?
Yeah, so this sounds like a great house, and I know that area pretty well. What's got you wanting to sell?
I'm not really interested in selling.
Okay. Because I know you said you were open to hearing a cash offer. So if I give you a cash offer that you were happy with and it made sense for you, what do you think you'd want to do next at that point?
I never really thought about it because I like my house.
Okay. So if I was to make you an offer for your property, how would you know that you would like that offer and then it would work for you?
Well, number one, the only way I would probably consider even an offer if I found another place to move.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm not even thinking of doing that right now.
Nice. Have you ever thought about where you'd like to move to?
It's a lot of, well, I have a lot of different ideas of what I would want to. Definitely, location is number one.
Yeah, location's always the most important. Is there any locations that you thought about? You're like, man, if I was ever to sell this house, like this is exactly where I'd go.
There's a couple of different places I have in mind. I've been looking, but I haven't. I know what my idea of a house. I'm very satisfied with this house. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not considering moving. It's not so much house. I mean, location. I just love this house.
Yeah.
It has all the features that I want.
Perfect. So what were the, if you're happy with that house, what was one of the reasons you were looking at other places? Because it sounds like you've been looking for a little while.
It's the location mostly, more than house, because I love my house.
Sure, but you said that you were looking at some other places in some other areas, right?
Yeah, different locations, yeah.
Nice. Locations in Jacksonville or outside of Jacksonville?
Just any location. I mean, I moved here from Lake Tahoe, from San Francisco.
Wow.
It just, if the house suits me, then that's when I move. Not so much. Location has a lot to do with it, but I have to love the house too as well.
No, I totally agree.
If the location's ideal for me, then I'll look at the property as secondary. But location is number one, my priority. And I pretty much like this location, so it'd be hard for me to change.
Got it. Okay. And Lake Tahoe, I've actually been to Lake Tahoe. That's actually a really beautiful place. My wife and I went on vacation a few years ago.
I had a vacation home up there. I'm sorry I sold it when I bought this house. I had a real nice house up there, yeah.
The local government there is really getting people to sell their house because there's not enough houses to go around that area.
Yeah, I'm kind of sorry that I sold it, but I liked this house so well, that's why I sold it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have sold it.
Sure. So, I'm not looking to waste your time, right? So if we were to present you an offer that made sense to you liked, and we could also help you find another place to live, what type of time frame would you be ready to sell, would you think? 7 to 10 days? 30
I haven't
days,
even put it in my mind yet because I do love this house. I use the word love, not like. I love this house.
Okay. Yeah, so it doesn't sound like that you're looking to sell right now, because even if, I made you an offer that would be an offer that you'd be happy with, and even if we could help you find another place, it seems like you really love the house there and you wouldn't want to move. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. Do you have any other houses that
it's all about location too, as well, more than house.
Yeah,
so,
for sure. You love that location.
I'm not even looking right. Well, I'm always looking at houses, and that's how I make the decision to move here. And that's primarily how I make decisions. Not so much that I'm shopping for a house, but if I come across something that I really love, then that's when I decide to move.
Okay, I got it. So it's not something you're actively looking to move right now. It's just you're looking just in case you find a location, but there's nothing concrete about when you want to move or anything. There's no timeline that you have in your mind. It's just that if in your search you happen to find something that meets a specific location.
I'm looking at property all the time, but it doesn't. I haven't made a decision to move anytime soon.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So, that totally makes sense. What we like to do is I like to work with sellers who are, serious about selling. They're motivated. They know they want to sell, because we have a lot of people that will just want to make them an offer and they're not ready to sell yet. And it just doesn't sound like you're at that phase yet. So if something changes and you find that, hey, I'm looking to sell, I'm ready to go, just give me a call back at this number. Save me my number in your phone, Chris Homebuyer. And I'd love to make an offer at that point when you're closer to the time where, you're looking to sell and move.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, great. Well, have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon, Norma.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. Okay. So I didn't continue to pursue that conversation because she really wasn't interested in selling right now. She wanted an offer. I think she was more so curious, but she's not really looking for a place to live right now. She has no time frame of when she wants to move, and it's one of those situations where it's like if I gave her an offer, even if I could help her find a place, like she wasn't at that stage where she'd even remotely consider it, right? So it didn't really make sense to continue going there, but I wanted to kind of dive in a little bit and show you guys how I diagnose if a seller is serious about selling and what their time frame looks like. Hello? Yeah, really what their time frame looked like and how that all worked. So we reached one seller today. Had a conversation with her, got a good way into it, but didn't get any leads just yet, but that's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, what it's about is it's about making calls, being consistent, having conversations, and really just digging in and seeing if you can help somebody. And like I said, that one question that, when I was talking to that last seller, her big thing was, if I could find another house at a new location. So she said that a few times, right? So I really wanted to dig into that and say, okay, well, let me ask you, is there any locations that you like more than others? And she's like, no, I'm just looking at all these different locations. Location, location, location. I'm like, that's fine. But is there a location that you've liked more than the others? Or is there one that you've looked at recently? Well, no, I'm just all about the location. So she wasn't really giving me anything specific. And I asked her like several different ways. And then, she was, the other thing in that conversation is I asked her how long she's been thinking about selling, right? She's like, well, I really haven't been selling, but I sold my other property when, I was just out looking. I'm always looking for properties and something came up and then I wanted to move, right? So even if I was going to make her an offer, like she's clearly not ready to move forward. And, maybe 6 months down the road, she'd come back to me. And at that point, like it wouldn't really matter because the offer would be totally change anyway. So that's why I don't like to make offers to people who are not very concrete. I didn't get really anything concrete from her as far as the timeline she's looking to sell, where she's looking to move to, or if there was a reason she'd want to sell right now. So if there's not really any motivation, you don't really want to spend too long on those calls.
100%. and that's just the way it goes. You know, it's all live. There's no way to really plan. I think that's an important thought for a second for those of you that really need to feel like you need to know everything. You could just see Chris was just having a regular conversation. I mean, she gave information, he responded. And yes, there's strategy in navigating the conversation. What would you say, Chris, to, when you're on the call and you know it's going nowhere, or, they're talking too much and you're really not getting information? How do you personally focus or refocus a conversation with a seller?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So what I tell all my clients and all my cold callers on our team and how we train them is I want you to picture a line, right? So if you picture a line, you have a start, you have well, I guess it's reversed here. So you have a start and you have a finish, right? So at the beginning is when the call opens, you answer the call. You're on the call, you're going through the script and everything like that. And the finish is getting the lead or making an offer to that seller, right? So that's the end. So along that path, when you're going through your script, there's going to be sellers that are going to try and take control of the conversation. They're going to try and cut you off, or like Tracy said, they're going to talk too long, and they're going to try to bring you off that line. But what you want to do is you want to answer their question and then bring them back. So if I'm going through my script and someone's, I'm having a conversation and they're like, well, wait a second, how many houses have you bought? Right? At that point, what I'm going to do is say, we bought a lot of properties in that area. So by the way, the kitchen and bathrooms, did you say that they've been remodeled in the last 5 years? So see, what I did is I answered that question and then I brought them right back on the line. And the goal is to keep them on the line and keep moving forward, right? So that's what we typically do, and sellers try to do that. And if someone's just kind of going on and on, something that you can do too is you can say, hey, I hate to cut you short here. I have another seller I'm going to be meeting with here in a few minutes, but I really would like to learn a little bit more about your property. How old did you say the roof was? And then kind of go on from there. But if you don't see the call going anywhere too, don't be afraid to cut it off like I did, right? I could have spent a lot more time on that call, but truthfully, I asked like several different questions and it just wasn't going anywhere. And so I didn't want to continue on and waste time running comps and putting together an offer. Maybe someone who's just getting started, they would do that, but it just wastes a lot of time and it takes your time away from the sellers that truly need your help, right? And so I try to cut conversations pretty short if it doesn't seem like it's going to go anywhere, if they're being very non-committal with how they're talking to me. She was very non-committal with how she was talking to me. She had no idea where she wants to go, no idea how much she wants, isn't really thinking about selling, is always looking at real estate, doesn't know which location she likes better than another. So there's a lot of up in the air stuff, and it's a problem that I just can't solve. So as real estate investors, what we want to focus on is we want to focus on solving problems that we can solve and just clipping all the others, right? Ask a few targeted questions so you can understand their situation and you can see if it's a problem you can solve. But if it's clearly not a problem you can solve, don't be afraid to end the conversation and move on to the next call.
Love that. And Chris, with Batch Dialer, do they keep, is there any, like guarantee on how many calls you'll get through on? I know you had a lot of dead air on a lot of those responses. What's their guarantee on that if somebody should decide today to join and get this going because they've seen how simple this really actually is?
Yeah. So so the thing with Batch is they don't have a guarantee as far as how many sellers they'll connect you with. But what I can tell you is there's two things that you want to focus on, right? So you have what's called an abandoned rate and you have a connect rate, right? So the abandoned rate is the percentage of calls that are dropped, okay? And ideally what you want to do is you want to keep this anywhere from 3 to 6% max, okay? And you'll see that in Batch when you're making calls. So let me just share my screen real quick and I'll show you what this looks like. So I'll show you how the call results shaked out from what we just did here today. So what you're going to see here, guys, is I made 177 calls in that window right there, right? Pretty crazy, right? 177 calls in a little less than an hour, right? I had 57 connected calls. Over here, average wait time between calls was pretty low, 17 seconds. Now, one of the things that I have turned on here is what's called rapid fire mode, where it's dialing like really fast on 3 lines. And if I was to take that off, this right here would probably drop down to 3 to 5%, and ideally where you want to be. The other thing too here is this number right here. So this connect rate. So ideally what you want for a connect rate is on a brand new list, you want to shoot for anywhere from 48% or higher on a brand new list. But every time you call through that list, that percentage goes down. Now, we've called through this list several times, right? So that's why it's at 31% right here. But if you have a brand new list that you upload and it starts out as 31% connect rate, then that means that you need to check where you're getting your phone numbers from. Because if you're getting your phone numbers from a place that's like cheap skip tracing, I hear this all the time. Oh, I can get skip tracing for 2 cents, 3 cents a piece, right? The problem is cheap skip tracing is not always the best, right? Because cheaper is not better when it comes to the quality of people's phone numbers. So you're gonna need a lot of disconnected phone numbers, you're gonna need a lot of answer machines. But if you are getting numbers from the right place, this connect rate right here on a brand new list, and this is not a brand new list, but if it was a brand new list, it would start out at 48% or higher. So that's what you want to look for.
Got it. That's great. Yep. So all the data is for you and help you determine, even if the quality of your list is valuable and where you're sourcing that list from. So it's just giving you lots of great information.
And what's pretty cool is you can scroll down here. You can see, like, for example, I had 66% of the calls were no answer, which is a bit high for today. I'm not sure why it was that high today. Answer machine is lower, 14.67%. Usually a good gauge for answer machine is around 23%, 25%, maybe 29% at the highest. And then it walks you through all the percentages of what happened on all the calls that you made. So you can see the average talk time, and you can see all the details about today's calling session. So it's really neat. And it allows you to get a really good handle as far as what's happening on the calls when you're making calls.
Love that. For anybody who's interested, I have dropped the link in several places for Batch Dialer, and I believe Chris, you said there was a free trial or something like that with your link.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get a 7-day free trial with my link, and then they also give you a discount on the dialer, I believe, as well.
Love that.
Yeah, you get 50% off your first month if you use my link and coupon code there.
That's great. And I also dropped some information for any of you that are looking for a VA. Maybe you see the opportunity here that Chris has presented. Mm-hmm. You recognize the value of how quickly you can make calls, but you still want to allocate or delegate that to someone else, and you're looking for a VA that's vetted. Got the perfect scenario for you. Dropped a link in the comments. I personally know the founder and the CEO of the company, Kathy Ford. So please do consider utilizing Rise Virtual Staffing if you should want to go in that direction. And Chris, tell us more about next steps with you. Sometimes people that are watching our weekly lives inquire about, they just want to go to the next level. They don't want to waste the time figuring it all out themselves. They need a coach, and that's certainly where you come in. If you could share a little more information about your discovery call and what you're all about.
Sure. Yeah, sure. So guys, if you're looking to get the results that we're getting and our clients are getting, one of the things I'd recommend is go ahead and applying for coaching. You can go to virtualwholesalingmadesimple.com. And if you go to virtualwholesalingmadesimple.com, you want to go ahead and apply, fill out the form. And if I like what you have to say, I'll consider bringing you on as a client. We've helped a lot of people who even had the deepest fears when it comes to cold calling, overcome those and get their first deal. We've had people come in that have tried to cold call before and had not gotten results. They get results with us and our systems and processes. And then we have other people that come in that saying, hey, I've already cold called myself. Like, I'm looking to grow, put a team together, and we help them with that as well. So if you guys are tired of spinning your wheels and you want to start doing deals, then go ahead and go to virtualwholesalingmadesimple.com. Love to have a conversation with you to see if coaching is a good fit.
I love that. Today was so incredibly practical, and I hope demystified the whole, ordeal of fear and worry and obsessing over picking up the call. picking up the phone and making the calls. You made it look easy, Chris, as you always do. And, again, the whole point of doing this is to show you that it is doable. In 1 hour, Chris, you reached, I don't know, what was it, 177 outbound calls?
Yeah, it's like 177 people. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was 1 hour. So picture your lunch break, picture 1 hour in the evening. And even Chris said, you normally get a bigger response, but today is what it is. We're not sugarcoating anything on these lives. This is really what it looks like. But you could very easily set this system up for yourself and start getting in the game, doing what Chris is doing, and really getting a deal locked down. Do you have any statistics? I know your team is obviously functioning at an extremely high level, but if you were to scale back in your mind and think of a beginner that's doing this, per X amount of calls, what do you think you're roughly seeing as a conversion for a deal that would go under contract in a month based on how many calls you're doing?
Yeah, so basically what we've typically seen is you'll typically get a lead, one lead every 200 to 300 calls, right? And so roughly, if you're dialing 10 hours per week, that would mean you're going to get roughly, let's see here, that means you're going to get roughly 1 to 2 leads a day if you're dialing yourself, right? So let's call it 2 leads a day times 5. That's Monday through Friday dialing. That's 10 leads a week, right? 10 leads a week times 4, that's 40 leads a month. And typically we find it takes anywhere from 25 to 35 leads to get a contract. So, if you're doing it yourself and you're putting the time, you're being very consistent with it, and you're getting 1 to 2 leads, you're going to get anywhere from 1 to 2 contracts a month if you do it yourself, down, a minimum of 2 hours a day. Now, I say that with a caveat, right? Some people are not very good on the phones when they first start, and that's okay. So for you, maybe it takes you 2 days to get 1 lead, right? And then you have to play out your numbers as far as what those play out like that, right? So your numbers could be a little different, but the key is knowing that you want to commit to a consistent amount of time every single day. I would say a minimum of 2 hours a day, right? And then from there, being consistent with your dialing session every day, staying focused like we were today, and focus on getting those leads and solving problems and getting in touch with as many sellers as you can. That's the biggest key. And if you do that, the numbers play out for themselves and you will get deals.
I love that. Basically, you walked through the entire process of lead gen and reaching out and, what it looks like live. So I hope this was valuable to you. We went over a bit of time, mainly because we really wanted to showcase how many different calls there might have been, a variety of different conversations. But you know what? We're going to do this again. I feel like this is extremely valuable to the audience. I hope it is. If it is or has been to you, let us know. Give us your feedback. Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions that you think of after the fact, which is always when we have them, right? Drop those in the comments also. And if you're watching this on replay, give us a hashtag replay so we can answer your questions in the group. Chris is always hopping back in there throughout the day and asking questions. If there's anything you'd like Chris and I to bring to the table that would be extremely valuable to you, we'd love your feedback on that as well. Give us your ideas. We're open to that. And thank you so much for your time, Chris. Incredibly valuable. And we appreciate you sharing your time and your expertise with every one of us. It's really been really very helpful, in my opinion. And kind of makes me want to get back on the phone, Chris. I don't know. You kind of gave me the bug. I might make one of these calls myself. So
it's fun. It really is. You just got to make a game out of it and sit there and just set aside the time and get in and have some conversations. It's fun.
Awesome. Lori, we'll get the replay going in the group. I know you're in there, so absolutely it'll be in there. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you next Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same place. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.